More than a dozen members of the Kennedy family endorsed President Biden in Philadelphia today.
And in doing so, they pointedly rebuked a member of their own family who's running for an independent candidate in the 2024 presidential race, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. His sister, Carrie Kennedy, delivered remarks praising President Biden today on behalf of the family. She made a point of saying only two candidates have any chance of winning the presidency, referring to President Biden and presumptive GOP nominee Donald Trump.
We want to make crystal clear our feeling that the best way forward for America is to re-elect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to 4 more years. Nearly every single grandchild of Joe and Rose Kennedy supports Joe Biden. That's right. That's right. The Kennedy family endorses Joe Biden for president.
Let's bring in CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes with more on this. Nancy, not too much of a surprise considering that I think it was St. Patrick's Day. The whole Kennedy family was at the White House standing cheek to cheek with President Biden. But how much of a surprise or how noteworthy is it that now they're really getting their political endorsement behind President Biden?
Right. They're taking this to the next level by formally endorsing the President of the United States. Another bid to try to inform the public, get the notion out there that RFK's own family members do not believe in his candidacy. And by endorsing President Biden, what they're really signaling is that this goes beyond some kind of policy difference. There are people who run for office all the time who have family members who maybe don't share their policy views, but those people don't go out and endorse their opponent. This is the family members, in some cases brothers and sisters, of RFK Jr. saying not only do they disagree with him politically, but they feel that some of his values, the fact that he has embraced some conspiracy theories, really indicate that he has strayed from the legacy of his father and his uncle, and they want to make sure that Democratic voters who see that Kennedy name in the ballot box know that he does not necessarily stand for them or Democratic principles.
Nancy, it's been decades since John F. Kennedy served as president of the United States. I was actually speaking with a young person just yesterday who really didn't know much about Kennedy's legacy. So I'm wondering how significant the Kennedy family's endorsement is in this moment.
I think it's significant because even if you don't know a lot about the Kennedys, even if you weren't alive when the family was at the height of its political power, you still know that name and you associate it with Democrats. And so the family getting out there really puts an asterisk next to RFK Jr.'s name. And it leads to reporters asking him questions about why his own family doesn't support him. Might lead to voters asking questions. And I think the reason that this is so important to them is that this is a situation, the 2024 election, where even if he picks up 1% or 2% of the vote in a key battleground state like Pennsylvania, where they are today, that could swing the votes from Biden winning by a little bit to Trump winning by a little bit, or vice versa. We really don't know how exactly RFK will influence either candidate at the end of the day and whose voters he will draw from more. But what we do know from history, from 2016 in particular, even from Bush v. Gore back in 2000, or from Ross Perot, we know that these third-party candidates, even if they just pull a small slice of the electorate, they can have a big impact.
Absolutely. Nancy Cordes outside of the White House for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.